Hey guys, what's up? How ya doing? I'm here to talk to you guys about the new episode of Dr. Stone Science Future Part 2, which is on episode 11 or episode 23 of the total number of episodes of Dr. Stone Science Future or 4th season of Dr. Stone, whichever one that's fitting for you. This episode right here was really crazy good, phenomenal, depending on your point of view. So if anything else, I guess depending on your point of view, it may not be great or it's nothing really special, but in my perspective, it was pretty good. So if anything else, let's just get this started. Suika ends up gathering all of her members into one location of the headquarter fort of where she's located at. And she is trying to figure out where to find the geography girl and the pink-haired crazy Dumbo. I'm calling her a Dumbo because she literally wasted the last revival fluid, and that was Suika's last hope. However, that didn't give Suika despair, and she ends up finding a paper from Senku's pocket and how to make revival fluid, which I thought was very smart of Senku to write it down, despite the situations where if the enemy get their hands on it, it's game over for them. You get the idea. Unless you have not watched the episode, you'll understand I'm a little confusing. Other than that, Suika decides to try to make the revival fluid. However, she did run into some problems along the way throughout nature and the materials she needed. Of course, when it comes to making the materials, one of the materials I believe, which is important to making the revival fluid, she was unable to get to that certain step or location. But thanks to everything she learned from the very beginning under Senku's leadership and knowledge she gained from all of her friends and crew, she's using it to her advantage to learn how to survive, not only survive, but try to make the revival fluid. It took a long time. Now, it may seem very short, but it did take a while for Suika to make the revival fluid, which is shown in the post-credit scene where she finally revives Senku and she's fully grown up, and she is very happy. Very happy, which I can't blame her for. It took her very long saying, hey, sorry that it took so long, but he goes well, you did it in a short amount of time, honestly. You freaking took 7 years. I thought you might take longer. You did really great, Suika. And Suika ends up crying tears of joy and happiness having to see Senku, and then hugs him saying, I'm so glad you're here. And Senku on the other hand says, well, you only took 7 years, but that was really fast. You did a very great job. Pretty dang fast, honestly. I'm thinking in my mind, yeah, when you think about 7 years, it may seem like it's not very long, but in terms of how we live our lives and how anything can happen to us in death, it's pretty long if you even think about it. But as for Senku, it's hey man, you did great. That was pretty fast. I expected longer, but you got it done in 7 years. You did a good job. So, yeah, overall, if I had to summarize it for you without a lot of detail and putting it all together with mainly confusing information, Suika gathers all of her friends, stone petrified friends, and ends up trying to make the revival fluid. She runs into some problems, and no matter how long it took, she managed to make it and revive Senku. So at that time, this is when Suika became best woman or girl for me, because despite her being small and on her own, she used everything she learned and used it to allow her to survive and make the revival fluid that Senku wrote on paper that Suika will be allowed to use to her knowledge and advantage to make. And she's not a scientist, she's not just a scientist, but a surviving warrior. Best of both worlds, of knowledge and strength and power and will. So, to me, she surpassed Kohaku. Now, I think in terms of combat ability, she has not surpassed Kohaku. I will say that 100% sure. However, in terms of knowledge and never giving up and having to go on her own, she really surpassed Kohaku right there. So, I look forward to knowing that Suika is going to be more useful from now on, especially when she's grown up, and hopefully she'll become partners in crime with Senku and Chrome, because those two guys are the smartest people in the crew. And now Suika add her onto that after going through a lot, and she managed to revive Senku. She has to be the third smartest person up there. Well, I guess Tsukasa and Hyoga might be one of those people as well, but you get the idea. And I hope next week, when the final episode comes up, there will be a season 4 announcement. Because the way how it goes and how it went, it's not going to end there until we get to that Y-Man guy, you know? So, until then, I'll see you guys later. I'm Alphazito. Have a good day. I'll see you guys next time, alright? Peace out. Bye-bye. Toot-toot-toot.